Hey there, Stampers. This is Sherry Roth with Stamped Treasures, and I am here today to share a scrapbook layout with you created using this Paper Pumpkin card kit. So this is the April 2026 Lakeside Retreat Stampin' Up! Paper Pumpkin card kit. And if you aren't familiar with Paper Pumpkin, it includes, you get a box. It's a monthly subscription, and in the box you get everything that you need to create that month's project. For the most part, it's cards, but on occasion it's something else. And this month it included the supplies to create 9 cards, 3 each of these designs. So this one here, I love that little bicycle. Love the muted colors in this kit and the imagery. So pretty. So those are the 3 cards. You get the supplies to create 3 of each of those, and even the envelopes are patterned. They're pretty as well. But what I like to do once I've created the cards, I like to turn around and create something different with them. And I often don't need more cards. I make so many cards that I've got a ton of cards, so I don't need more cards. I like to make a scrapbook layout or a mini album. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to create a scrapbook layout. So let me just share what you get in the kit. You always get an exclusive stamp set and a Stampin' spot, and this month you got the Peaceful Pine ink pad, which is one of the new 2026-2028 in colors. Love this Peaceful Pine. You always get adhesive, so in addition to this you also get a roll of tear and tape. This kit happens to include these little pebbled embellishments, and then all of the pieces are just kind of die cut or laser cut, so you can just pop them out. So it makes for really quick and easy projects. So your layers are all cut to size. Your cards are printed and scored, so you can just fold them in half. I love that they've got the pattern all the way across. If you're going to do something else with it, that gives you a little bit more flexibility. So these are the 3 card bases. This one happens to have 2 different patterns. And then, of course, the envelopes. Okay, so that's what's in the kit. So we're going to set this stuff aside, and we're going to keep this stuff out. Okay, one thing that I want to point out before we move on to the project is it does coordinate with one of our new suites in the May to August catalog. It is the Lakeside Retreat Kit. So you can see, here's the DSP, stunning. This cut apart sheet, like just think of what you can create with this. So pretty. And then there's the back side. Then we've got some fish. So if you've got, if you like to fish, or if you've got a fisherman in your life, or fisher person, this wood grain, can't go wrong with wood grain. And then we've got some buoys in the back. Love this bicycle sheet as well. And we've got some birds, some oars and life vests. And I like how they're kind of like a vintage pattern. And then this fabulous plaid, and then some seagulls in the back. So that's the DSP. And then there is a bundle as well. So stamp set and dies. And then there's these loose anchor trinkets. So this is what they look like here. All right. So I've kept one of those out because I think I'm going to include one of them. I don't know that I'm going to use anything from the rest of the kit. But I am going to bring in a piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to bring in some Pool Party ink. So this isn't an ink color that is in the Paper Pumpkin kit, but I want to add a little bit of something to the background of this white. So I'm going to do the packaging technique. All right, so I'll walk you through that. So I've got just some packaging. If you order a stamp set or a die, or even embellishments from Stampin' Up, they come in these cello bags. These are great. Just keep one of them. You can use it over and over and over. And I'm going to take Pool Party ink. Now there is a hole in this, so I just want to make sure that I don't go through the hole. And I'm just going to smush it down. So you can see here, there's not a whole lot of ink. You don't need a lot of ink to do this technique. And then I've got some water, and I'm just going to mist it. And you want to mist it enough so there's movement. Okay, so I can see that ink moving around. I'm going to add one more spritz here. Okay, so now I do have a plan for the center, so I don't want to add a ton of this to the center because most of the center is going to be covered. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do it kind of in this direction. So I'm just going to kind of roll this on, and then I'll flick, maybe get a few splatters. And I usually have some paper towel handy so that I can tap off the excess. That will lighten it a little bit. It'll also speed up the drying time. All right, and then I just wipe this clean. Okay, I'm gonna zap this with my heat tool. Okay, and then I'm gonna set this aside so I can explain what I've done. So I keep a few different sized paper plates in my craft room for when I want big circles. So this is my medium size one. I have more like a dessert size, and then I've got a bigger one as well. So this is the medium size one. This measures about 9 inches, just shy of 9 inches. And I took the backing from our DSP, and let me pull this in here, and traced the circle and then cut it apart into like pie shapes. And I did number them so that it would make it easier when I go to piece this back together. All right, so I started with 1 and went all the way around to 8. And I wasn't worried about the sizing. I didn't need them all to be the same. I wanted them to be different, some to be a little wider, some to be thinner. And this is something that I keep in, I just clip them all together, and I just keep them as a template. So whenever I want to do something similar to this, I can just pull that out. I don't have to recreate it, okay? And like I said, this was just created. You can use a piece of cardstock, maybe in a color that you don't use very often, or I use the backing from some DSP. All right, and then what I did is I took my card bases. So we've got some fabulous patterns. So the card bases are what I use for my pattern paper when I craft with a kit. So I wanted this to be on here. I wanted this to be this pattern here. So I put, let me grab the full card base. Let's pretend this is the card base I wanted to use. So determine what direction you want your stripes. If it is a pattern, so I wanted my wood grain to go up and down. So for this one, this example, we'll use our stripes going up and down. And I kind of positioned it over top of the piece of pie. And then I just picked up the piece of pie and, oh, that one, don't need that one, and flipped it over. I traced it and that with a pencil, and then I numbered it. So I put number 6 on it, and then I cut it out. So I did that for all of these pieces. So I used different patterns for each one of those, or solid pieces. So I did put in some I did add in some cardstock. So they're all numbered. So this is 8. This is 7. This is 1. So, and I'm going to do my 1. My 1 is basically going to be like about the 6-inch mark of my DSP. 6. And some of them, like this was just a scrap from my scrap gray granite bin. So some of them weren't quite big enough, but I'm going to cover over the center. So it doesn't matter what the center, even if they're just a little bit short, that's fine. Okay. And then 4, 3, and 2. All right. So we're going to need to move this up a little bit. All right, so it's gonna go kind of like this. So isn't that fun? Just a fun way to add a nice bit of pattern rather than cutting just a solid circle. And with a solid circle, if you're working with a card kit, you don't have the option of doing that. You could maybe do a semicircle, but you couldn't do a solid circle with a card kit. So this is another great way to use smaller bits of paper. So whether it is a card kit that you're using and you're cutting up the card bases, or you're digging into your stash and using your scraps. Okay, so I've got that. Now I think at this point, because I've explained most of it, I've gone into detail. I've got this little tray, This is like kind of one of each of the pieces that I want to use. There are a couple pieces here, or a few pieces here that I haven't pulled out. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them or not, but I've got them handy. And then I've also pulled out, this is, I believe this is Evening Evergreen twine. This is retired, but it's from my stash. I've got a little bit left, and it is a close match to this Peaceful Pine. So I pulled that out to use because I love to include twine or fibers on my projects. And then I also have a Peaceful Pine ink pad. So if you got the kit, then you've got the Stampin' Spot, but I don't usually open my Stampin' Spots. And then I've got the embellishments, the stamp set, and my adhesive, just everything else that I would normally use when I create a scrapbook layout. And I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and kind of talk you through my process and what I plan on doing. Okay, so I'm going to start by distressing around the edges of my pieces of pie, just using my snips. So once they're done, I'll just kind of position them kind of where I think I want them. And initially I thought I would put a little bit of a gap in between, but then your circle doesn't end up being a perfect circle. So if you were going to do that, you might want to cut your pieces of pie just slightly smaller than they're intended. So I'm going to butt mine up, and I'm just using this quilting ruler. It's a 6 by 12 inch quilting ruler, and I love it because I can measure in both in two directions at once. So I've got it lined up with the left-hand side of my page, and it's 6 inches, so I know I can line that up. And then I kind of made sure that I had an even distance from the top and the bottom. And now I'm just kind of positioning them all in there. And I decided that I was going to pop a few of them up with dimensionals. So I've adhered the pool party one, and then that first wood grain one on the right-hand side is going to get popped up. But I thought I'd put this Peaceful Pine piece down first, and then then pop up the other one. So the ones that are popped up are that first wood grain one, the one with the scenery down at the bottom, and then the embossed gray granite piece. Now I'm doing this layout for 2 3x3 photos. So I've got some photo placeholders there that I'll add in. And now I'm just kind of building my clusters and figuring out what I want to do. And I knew I wanted to stamp this little, I don't know what it's called, but whatever this is, this grassy piece. It's not grass, but I wanted to do that, and I wanted to do some greetings. So I'm going to do Happy Father's Day. I'm going to do that in Peaceful Pine, and I grabbed my pool party ink, and there is kind of like a border piece in the stamp set that comes in Paper Pumpkin, and so I stamped that at the top and the bottom of this little sign, just for some added detail. Now, if you don't have the stamp set, if you wanted to do something similar, you could easily do something similar by drawing a couple thin little lines with the Stampin' Write marker. Just a little bit of detail at the top and the bottom just really dresses it up. All right, so that's going to go there. And then now I should have stamped. Okay, first of all, we're going to add this using dimensionals, and I'm being strategic about where I put my dimensionals, because remember, some of these pieces are popped up. So anything that's going to sit on top of one of the popped pieces of pie, I made sure there wasn't a dimensional on there. I didn't want to add 2 layers of dimensionals. Okay, so I'm just kind of figuring out where I want to stamp this little grassy piece. And so I'm going to do 2 kind of in this little area, so they kind of peek in behind the bike when I put the bike on, and that just gives it some dimension. And I remembered that I also wanted to stamp it on the this landscape piece as well. And because I added dimensionals, I mean, I lucked out. It worked out. But if you do want to add some stamping to it, I do recommend that you add that before you add it to your layout if you're popping it up. All right, so on this little green banner piece, I am adding Older, Wiser, Better with some Peaceful Pine. And then that whole cluster is going to get popped up using dimensionals. And again, anything that overlaps, I tried to make sure that there wasn't a dimensional there. And I decided I wanted to add some of that twine down here. But I kind of put it where I initially thought I would want it, and I didn't like it, so I left it off, but I do end up adding it in a little bit. I didn't like it there. I tried adjusting the bow so that you could, or the loops, so you could see it a little bit more, but it just didn't work there. So I set it aside. We'll bring it back in a bit. All right. Now I'm going to add some of these little pebble pieces. I'm going to add some at the bottom of where I stamped that little grassy bit. And then I'm also going to add some where I stamped the grassy bit over on that landscape kind of piece of pie. And some of those are off of the piece of pie and on the background piece. They're kind of tucked underneath, so you only see a portion of them. All right, and there, I like that bow there, so we're going to add, I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller because it was a bit too big. Trim the ends and use a little piece of multi-purpose glue to adhere it. A little piece, a little dot of multi-purpose glue. All right, and I'm happy with that cluster. Now we're going to move on to this cluster. So I'm going to use that circle. I'm going to use the 2 oars and the life vest and one of the label shapes. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want everything positioned. And that's kind of how I want it, except I end up putting the oars on the top. And I do want to bring in one of these charms from the suite, the coordinating suite from the annual catalog, or from the May to August catalog. So I'm going to pop some dimensionals on there. Everything on here is popped up using dimensionals. I'm going to feed the rest of this twine. I finished off that twine. It's always good to finish something up from your stash. I love it. So I'm going to feed that through, tie a bow, and then I'll use a mini glue dot to adhere it. Trim the ends. So we got a mini glue dot here. We'll piece it on there. And then trim off the ends. And then I grab the seagull stamp from the stamp set and some gray granite ink and stamp some seagulls in the upper right corner just to give a little bit of detail on there. And now that I look at my layout, it's hard to tell where we did the packaging technique. You can see a little bit peeking out, but not a lot of it. We ended up covering up most of it. All right, and oh, I do one more thing. So I decided for a little bit of added detail, I grabbed my Stampin' Pierce mat and my paper piercing tool, and I just did a little bit of paper piercing. So I added, I think it was 9 holes in 3 different spots. And I love that, just that extra little bit of detail. And there we go. Our layout is done. So here's a little bit of a closer look. And I appreciate you watching. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.